Royal Jubilee David Austin Rose is absolutely stunning this year. This is, I can't remember, I either planted it 3 years ago. I don't think it can be 4, but I could be wrong. But this rose is new to my garden, and I chose it because of the color and the size of not only the blooms, but the bush. I wanted to fill in this garden bed here. This is a large shrub. It grows about 5 feet by 4 feet. And I have 3 of them planted in this bed with petunias. I have super petunias, purple, white, and then I also have super bells, a tangerine color, underplanted. And then I also have a rockin' salvia popped in here. So you can tell that the theme is pink, purple, and white with a little pop of orange. And they all are surrounding this beautiful fountain that my family and I picked up when we visited Morocco in the summer of 2022. But back to the star of the show, which is this Royal Jubilee English Shrub Rose by David Austin. I just can't believe how amazingly gorgeous they are this year. In fact, they're so heavily laden with blooms, they're flopping over. I tried to trellis up this one and it just keeps flopping onto the ground because it's so heavy. That may be because I didn't do an adequate job of pruning this year. I generally prune pretty hard in January, February timeframe. And my rule of thumb is to cut down anything or cut off anything that's smaller than a pencil. And this year I tried something new. I follow Laura of Garden Answer and I watch some of her pruning videos. And she always is mindful that the more you cut off, the more potential blooms you remove. So I thought I would not prune as hard this year. And she's absolutely right. Look at the blooms on these. I mean, I have tons, but it also is pretty heavy and they're very big blossoms on pretty spindly stems. So I think next year I'll go back to pruning a little bit harder to be able to get a little bit more of a sturdy stem to support these blossoms, which are, the size of a large hand. I've been pretty happy with these roses so far. I don't have issue with black spot here in my 9B garden of central northern California. We are pretty dry, so we don't get black spot or other diseases like that. I did have a white fly infestation last year, and one of these roses was completely covered. So I cut it down pretty hard, disposed of all of the branches into the trash. I didn't compost them. And so far this year is shaping up to be okay. But so far, I'm not seeing any signs of them coming back, thankfully, because boy, those little bugs are the worst. It has a really lovely fragrance. You do have to kind of stick your face in close to smell it, but it does smell lovely. And I really couldn't be happier about the performance. I sit in my outdoor patio and I stare at it, and I just enjoy this shrub so much. One of the best things about Royal Jubilee is that its blossoms do not fade in our heat. So I talked about Lady Emma Hamilton in an earlier video, and she definitely succumbs to our heat. But Royal Jubilee maintains this beautiful color, maybe a little softening of the pink, but for the most part, the color that it blooms, it maintains and holds it for the entire cycle of the bloom. And so I've been really happy with the consistency of how the shrub looks overall. I mentioned with the Lady Emma Hamilton how I get a little disappointed in the heat of the summer, and definitely the Royal Jubilee has really pleased me with its consistency of color. Royal Jubilee was named, I believe, after the Queen of England's anniversary of ascending the throne. I can't remember which one, but it was named after her. And I couldn't think of a more fitting rose to name after such a celebration, as just looking at this rose makes me happy. and I hope it makes you happy too.